Portmeirion Potteries was founded by Susan Williams-Ellis and her husband Ewan in 1960. Susan's approach to business was exemplary. Living in Bank House, which adjoined Portmeirion's factory, she could always be found in the middle of the action, amongst the machines, being hands-on, trying and testing new designs and chatting to her staff about the products and processes.
About 22 years ago, when I was working on the kiln, I hadn't actually been on the firm very long. Susan was in the habit of walking around the factory when she couldn't sleep, I'm led to believe, and this particular evening, it must have been 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, she came to me with a cup of coffee and she just said, I couldn't sleep and I thought I'd make you a cup of coffee. It's one of the very few times in my life that my jaw has dropped open. I mumbled thanks, thank you very much, and off she went on the travels, and I thought it was a remarkable thing to do. She was a lovely lady, a lovely, gracious lady.
I used to work with Susie back in the 80s. Quite often I'd get into work in the morning and I'd open up my room and come in, and on the Formica top, or even on a piece of plastic, there'd be a note from Susie. 2:30 a.m, couldn't sleep, had an idea for a new soup tureen or teapot or plate or anything. Could you get me some plaster ready? I will be down at 9. And she drew me a little drawing, a diagram with the sizes on and everything. Surely she'd be down at 9 o'clock and she'd come and she'd turn the whatever item it was, soup tureen or plate. And this happened over a number of years, a number of occasions. It was good. It's nice times.
After completing her pottery studies at Dartington School and art and sculpture classes at Chelsea Polytechnic, and having been mentored by Bernard and David Leach, Henry Moore and Graham Sutherland, Susan was asked by her father, Clough Williams-Ellis, the architect and visionary behind Portmeirion Village in North Wales, to design pottery that could be sold as gifts in the village's souvenir shop.
Susan started the ship shop in the 1950s when she was working here with her father, and this is where she would design various bits and pieces of ceramics and other things to sell. She also painted murals, one of them which is on the ship shop now, and they did that throughout the 50s really, for the best part of 10 years, and eventually decided that they would be better off having their own factory to produce the goods that they were selling rather than having a third party make them. And I think that that's where the Portmeirion Potteries all began. Yes, she started off in retail basically, and I suppose that stood her in good stead for running a pottery.
Susan is often credited with helping to shape the style of the 1960s, which is still hugely influential today. Yet she was always very modest about her designs, not ever imagining that they would become collector's items. In fact, Susan once said that she wanted people to buy her work purely because they liked it and that it had a function, rather than buying things as an investment. She thought herself to be very lucky that, ironically, her work was considered so collectible.
That's what I always say. People say, how did you get started? And I always say, by a series of frightful mistakes and silly faults. And so one had to put them right. I was never going to give up, whatever I was doing.